On this week's Top 14 Digest, we'll be looking ahead to France's potentially title-winning clash with Scotland in the Men's Six Nations. We'll be catching up on a full round of the Top 14. And if we have time, we'll be sneaking in a bit of women's rugby chat as well. Let's start the show. Bonsoir, everybody. Bienvenue. Je m'appelle Huw. Welcome back to the Top 14 Digest. This is your weekly short-ish podcast catching all of the news and results in the mad world of French rugby and, most importantly, getting up to date with all of the gossip. I'm not on my own. I am joined by my co-host from the Atlantic coast, Madame Maz Mac. Bonsoir, Maz.
Bonsoir, Huw. How are you?
I'm just checking if we're getting any closer to bonjour. It's daylight where I am.
Daylight where I am, but not enough daylight.
Oh, okay. You have to tell us when the big bonjour crossover comes in. Bonsoir to bonjour. No, right, I'll have to explain to people how this week's show is going to work. So we are going to talk about Scotland versus France, previewing that. That's going to be at the end of the show. People watching on YouTube, or even I think nowadays the people on audio can use the chapter selection to skip to that if that's what you're really interested in. And if not, in the meantime, we're going to talk about our favoritist topic, which is the top 14 or the top 14 to the English speaking people, of which I am definitely one. And we had a full round. It was rounds, what do we say? 18?
Sweet. Yep. 18th round. Yeah.
And the scores on 14 were as follows. Clermont thrashed Bayonne. Goodness me. Like Bayonne never really won away from home anyway, but the wheels have very much come off. But Clermont 38-15, playing some great stuff. Harry Plummer again getting a lot of plaudits after this one.
Yeah, he was absolutely fantastic. And Clermont on a bit of a roll. They've had 5 out of 6 wins. They have had 6 bonus offensive, which means they've scored the tries, and 8 home wins for them this season. So that's, it's not bad. It's pretty good.
That's not bad at all. Lyon drew 13-all with RC Toulon. There's nothing really to say about that game. Although Lyon today announced the signing of Argentinian loosehead prop Thomas Gageot from Benetton. So that's nice for them, I suppose.
Yeah, that game wasn't great. And the first score in that game was still in the first half, but it was the 42nd minute. A penalty for Toulon, 0-3 at half. Oh, God.
Well, one game that definitely wasn't boring was Montpellier versus Racing, 2 teams who neither of us are the biggest fans of, Maz, but we every week begrudgingly admit the Montpellier are playing some good rugby and they are in contention for the second spot in the league at this point.
Yes, they are. They're sitting third at the moment after that. They've been doing really well. 4 out of the 5 tries were scored by the pack. They've had 11 out of 13 wins in both competitions. They have 11 bonus points this season, losing bonus points. That is quite a bit.
That's making a big difference.
They do quite well on the road. I mean, they're picking up bonus points all the time. 11 is a lot. They could push Po maybe a little bit for a home semi-final place. They've really, there's not much they're very solid. Their discipline is fantastic. The pack is great. 50% of the tries comes from the pack. And
frustratingly competent rugby team. Stade Francais beats USAP or Perpignan to you and me 42-21. And I think Perpignan got a couple of late tries to make that look a bit better than it was. Pretty comfortable win for Le Vion Rose.
It was, they already had their bonus point after 31 minutes. And then on the 32nd minute, Perpignan totally changed their front row. That was quite early in the game, to be fair. And Jeremy Ward was absolutely excellent. Now, I love him anyway, but he was outstanding. He's become a real leader in that team. He really brings them on. And there were some nice touches. You could see Paul Gustau, having the... Oh, sorry, Gustau.
Paul Gustard to his friends.
Yes. With Lauren Lebet, who's at the moment with Perpignan, they had big hugs for each other. So there was, there was nice touches, things like that. So Stade, going along, doing their thing.
Yeah, and the you mentioned Jeremy Ward. That reminded me I'd seen this on Opta Johnny, which is the Opta's rugby account, that he scored one try and assisted a further three against Perpignan, the most
Mm.
direct involvements by a centre in a top 14 match since Isaiah Tuava, who I don't recall, in August. Two tries and four assists versus Agen. I don't know who
Okay.
for. I assume also.
Brody do I can't at the top of my head. That is not going to come to me this week. Sorry.
Also, the biggest news coming out of Stade Francais this week, Maz, is of course they're now sponsored by DHL.
Yes, they are. They got a big sponsor in, and that's good for them too. They need it after Capri Sun, ended the sponsorship last season. So DHL is a good sponsor for them, and it doesn't impinge too much. I don't think the little bit of black kind of braid. It looks, yeah. It's a
It's a
little,
bit bland. At least it's not the big yellow and red logo. That would have looked horrendous. But
yeah, that's better.
when you're coming from Capri Sun, this just looks a little bit corporate for me.
It is a bit, but you know what? Sometimes there's so much with logos that I kind of go, oh, stop. And that is, no, that's okay. That's fine. It's not over the top.
No, I suppose not. I just need to
No.
say a few more words now until I can get these scores back up. Right. Okay. Now we're there. So, we does Saffron say Toulouse thrash Montauban. And we're not going to talk about this game at
Yeah, I
all.
do.
Oh,
Got a fun,
sorry.
got a
Fun
fun
fact.
fact.
Okay, I do
Yes.
apologize.
Sorry, didn't tell you that. There was a record in
Oh,
that game.
yeah.
100 Stade Toulousain scored 100 tries. And that's the first time a team have scored 100 tries in a season on the 18th match of the season. There you go. That's a fun
There's
fact. Did
it.
I say that properly? You know what I mean?
I got what you meant. So Toulouse have now scored 100 tries this season, and by round 18, is that the earliest anyone has hits that
Yes,
margin? Because
exactly. Thank you for clearing
it
that up, but that's exactly it.
it was well into the 20s for last season. I think it was. I think I remember seeing it last season. It was like round 23 or something. Probably talking nonsense here, but I recall it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of
And there's
shows that the
two, yeah. And two doublés, Teddy Thomas God's doublé, and the young Spanish fly half, Lucien Ricardi or Ricardo, he got a doublé as well. So,
they've got a Spanish one and a Belgian one.
yeah, I have to admit that I know very little about this guy, but there you go.
Who's trying to sign the? Is it Perpignan trying to sign the Belgian one? Was it? What's his
Oh,
name? How do I forget? How have I forgotten his name? He's on FI UK. Joe Thingy was with Brive, now with
don't ask me.
defense coach.
Hmm.
All the people in the comments will know.
Yes, they will. Yeah, and I can't Google it, and I can. I just can't remember. But
Joe
anyway,
Thingy, I think he on FI UK commentary said that they were trying to sign the Belgian lad from
hmm,
Toulouse.
okay, okay.
So yeah, take my word for it. And then Cast lost at home to La Rochelle. That was a
Oh,
big surprise. La Rochelle got a lot of big players back. Cast have been playing
oh,
well, but my goodness, La Rochelle needed this result.
yes, they did, and I have a lot of things to say about this. It was the
Hmm.
120th um, year, and this was their big kind of party at home. Last, you got three yellow cards. And at one time, they were playing with 13 men. And during that time, La Rochelle scored two tries. You can't be at that cast. Oh, so frustrating. And then they came back, and in the last 15 minutes, they got two tries, which earned them a bonus point, and lost La Rochelle a bonus point.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, but La Rochelle did get a win and they needed that. And I was surprised by that result. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you look at the team that La Rochelle had out, it's the strongest team they've had out for a long time. Like Legal Rec was back. Obviously, Audrey hasn't
Yeah.
been called up. Nini Ashvili's playing in the centres now, which is weird. I don't think that's his best position at all. But they got it. I do
Mm,
think that their defensive. Someone put up their injury situation on the screen, and it is bad.
mm. Yeah, it is bad. It is bad. They say this have 19. Yes, there's some outer players included in that, but still, they
I
still
always
have.
I always say that the injury list is the excuses list. The Welsh
Yeah.
regions are really bad for this. They'll go, "Oh my goodness, have you seen the length of our injury list?" And then you look at it and go, "That's some 18-year-old academy kid who has never played for us. Why is he on the list?"
Yeah, and I don't know because I didn't see all of the games. Was Paul? Budahan, was he pulled up before the game? Was there something like
Oh, I
that?
saw he was in the starting lineup. I didn't realize he didn't play.
Yeah, and it's one of these games I didn't see, and I only caught the highlights of it, and I think there was something about that. So, you know, sorry again, you know, if you if the if you want to leave a comment as to why, please do. But yeah, I think there was something about that.
Yeah. And then we come to our game of the week, which was luckily enough the Sunday night game, which was Poe versus UBB, which were I think was second versus third at the time, or second
Yes.
versus something. And it was a great game. I enjoyed watching it. It was unfortunately a bit one-sided scoreline in the end, but I have to say I thought the Poe played extremely well, especially when you consider the players that they're missing due to France. I thought it's
Mm.
the most physical that I've seen them play, and
Yep.
they just had UBB. It was a close enough first half, but by the second half they had UBB right where they wanted them, and just a continuation of a great season for the club.
Yeah. And I have another fun fact because I love them. Um, Dubanya, it was his 310th game for the club. And he was born in Poe, so he's a real local lad, and he's only played for the one club.
What do they call
So
them? They call them a palois.
Palwas, the
Yes.
Palwas, yeah. So it was nice for him to get a win, especially on an occasion like that. Both sides really had nice tries. Because UBB started off well enough. The Cassotti try from that kind of Rayasi kind of, I don't know what he was doing. He had side steps, he crochets, back
Mm.
passes onto Cassotti. That was a really nice try. And it was like, you score a try, I'll score a try kind of thing. Um, there was and another one who scored a lovely try, and normally he is Troisi and Liam flanker.
Hmm.
Hewitt, and he
Yes.
played centre, and he scored a try as well before half
That's
time.
fine. I didn't realize that. I didn't
Yeah,
realize that they had a flanker in the
and I
centre.
think that's the second or third time this year he's played at centre and scored a try. I think something to that effect. Waukee got a try, and
Woki, sorry, just Woki. That is 7 tries and 2 try assists in his last 7 games.
yeah, he's not doing too bad, is he?
Mm.
It was 17-12 at half time to Poe. Uh, and even Borska had tried on the 50th minute, and it was 17 all. I was going, oh, this is, kind of quite close, and, what you'd expect. And then Poe just broke away. And there seemed to be no answer from UBB, apart from a lot of bad discipline, losing lineouts, forward passes, not
Yeah.
being a. Oh, what's his name do, Madosh? What did he didn't even put any pressure on the ball.
Yeah, with his try that he missed, I kind of forgive him for that because he kind of made
Yeah,
it out of nothing as well.
yeah.
You got it. You like Madosh. You're happy to see him back.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I am. He left in a way because he had to leave because of JIP rules and things like that. I think
Mm.
they wanted to keep him, but they couldn't, and salary cap. And yeah, I'm glad to see him back. And he's always good, and he puts in an effort. There was a beautiful try from. They had a few beautiful tries. Paul Robson. No, he shouldn't have scored it because UBB shouldn't have let him score it. It was down the right line, and there was a ruck or something going on, and he got the ball, and he just went down on the right hand side, and there was nobody near him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Aha. I have found it. Hang on. I have found it in the thing. There's so much to talk about this game. While I'm loading this, what about the try that their prop scored as well from the chip through?
Oh man, that was quite late on in the game.
Yeah.
Secunda, he got the ball, and he kind of dribbled it a bit, and kicked it on, and I was going, yeah, yeah, yeah. But he actually followed it up,
Yeah.
and he's a prop.
It was
And
great.
he got it at 20, 25 meters out, something like that, and dribbled it and got it. And yeah,
That's the
just,
Robson try.
I was going, that just sums it all up.
Yeah. Oh, lads, wake up. Wake up. Um,
Mm.
I, I have to say, I didn't think Peno was particularly at it in this game. I don't know whether he took a knock early or what it was, But I thought the Penno was a little bit not at the races for this one,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Again, I only saw the highlights, and sometimes it's very difficult from the highlights to see, but I'm not seeing anything positive
There
being
was
said.
one where Luku put the a box kick up and he didn't even try and chase it, and it was just quite disappointing actually.
Yeah.
Another one
Oh,
getting a
we're
lot of
so.
praise after this game is Axel Desperes, their fly
Oh,
half, the young guy.
yes, got man of the match. He may have missed one or two conversions, but that's fine. But he was absolutely excellent. So he was.
Hmm.
Um, and that's not the first time he's been excellent for them. It's been a few times. So and he's a young guy, so
Yeah,
good on him. Yeah, yeah.
that's nice.
But Poe are so good on that high ball. They are so good. They become now the team of the top couture that the high ball is Poe's.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
Great performance. Like I said, the physicality was fantastic as well.
yeah,
Anyway, before
yeah.
we go to the break, it's just time for the Fannie of the week. Fannie being the French term for a team that was nils. And we've got not one but two Fannies this week, Maz.
We have Leon at home against Toulon. Not even a score. And as I said, Toulon only scored in the 42nd minute of the first half, so it could quite easily have been a double Fanny. You're at home against Toulon. That is really not good.
Hmm.
And they didn't score. What time? When did they score, Leon? I'm going to have to look at this, but it was a long time until they scored. Oh, you just gone. No, not good enough at home.
They've had some
Not
good
good.
results lately. And what was the other
Yeah.
one?
USIP against Stade Francais, 28-0 at half time. And yeah, and they didn't score until the 50th minute, more or less. No.
So we have to do we have to say congratulations to Montalban for not getting a not getting a
Well, yeah,
Fanny?
actually, yeah. For once.
Yeah.
And then the other Fanny you can throw in there is Bayonne not having a win yet in 2026.
Oh my
And
goodness. Wow.
oh, they are the bottom of the first bunch, if you know what I mean, because even
Yeah.
Perpignan have done quite well in the last few games, but they're still so far behind that they've got no hope. But wow,
Hmm.
Bayonne.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Unfortunately. Anyway, before we go any further, let's just remind people that if you're enjoying the show that you're watching so far, please consider subscribing to the Global Game Line. We have smashed through 1,500 subscribers, but we're still greedy for more. So if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. It's not only us on here, but there's a dedicated South African show who are celebrating the dominance of the Lions winning the South African Shield in the URC. There's a URC show, which will become the Six Nations show again this weekend. I host that. There's an Irish show that you can get all of the latest Irish chat and debates and things on there. When the Women's Six Nations comes around, there will be a women's rugby show. More on women's rugby in just a moment. And there's an American show. Scrum of the Earth is on here. All sorts of things are happening. I've probably forgotten one, but that is the gist of it. So it's a bit of rugby from a bit of everywhere. And if that sounds like a bit of you, subscribe. I remembered my catchphrase. I went back and watched it from last week.
Post-it notes, you
Yeah.
post-it notes. I have them everywhere, different colours for different things.
Anyway, we were just, as we just said, women's rugby. So I am this week on my quest of wearing a France jersey for every round of the Six Nations. I'm wearing my Women's World Cup 2025 jersey, France, which is my favorite jersey of the World Cup. I went and I saw France and I got a picture with Joanna Grisez and Morgane Bourgeois, who are my two
Yes.
favorite French players. I didn't manage to get Pauline Bourdon on season, unfortunately, but I did buy this jersey in the after World Cup sales. I like it very much. I like Adidas jerseys very much, and you should be seeing me wear this one again once the Women's Six Nations starts in April, I think it is.
Yeah, yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I can't remember the exact date, but about then, yeah. It's after the men's, so it will be end of March, beginning of April. Yeah.
So it was a big weekend in the Elite Une this week, Maz. You just wanted to catch the folks up on what happened?
Yes, well, Stade Toulouse, then they won away again and secured their first place anyway. They've got 52 points. But the big game was between second and third, which is basically Clermont against Stade Bordeaux. And, well, Clermont won well. They won 27-20. And it was just a late try by Stade Bordelais that made it look a bit good. So Clermont are, and this was on Canal Plus as well, when it was
It
just
was
after
it
the
was
men's
Le
game.
Grand Match.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was just after the men's game. And quite a few, from what I can see, sometimes it's hard when you're watching highlights, it's hard to pick out how many people stayed. But there did seem to be quite a few people who stayed for it. So that's good. And Clermont stay second. So it's Stade Toulousain 52 points, Clermont 48, and Bordeaux 39, and Blagnac have, oh, 34, I think, or 35.
Is that off the top of your head? That's very impressive, memorizing the league table. Um,
Yeah, it is. Might be 1 or 2 points there, but that's
I
basically
saw
it.
that
Yeah.
Toulon picked up a good win as well. That's good for
Oh,
them. They're now off
oh,
bottom.
did
They're
they?
out of the relegation spot.
Okay. No, I haven't watched or seen
I have
other
just
things.
stumbled across the ASM Rugby Feminine Instagram page. Now,
Oh,
I do like um, I was about to say something and I realized it sounded incredibly weird. I was about to say I do like women's rugby Instagram pages. That
they're
sounds
good.
odd. It's not because of anything weird. I just think that they're normally quite good and entertaining. So
Yeah,
here's some clips for that. Like I said, it was a double header
yeah,
with the men, and like I said, second versus first. A lot on the Bordeaux side, France internationals uh,
yeah,
on show, and which just
yeah,
makes it a massive win for ASM.
yeah. And I know this season, a few of the Bordeaux front and second line went to play. They were transferred. They transferred up to Clermont as well. So they got a few international players from them. There seemed to be quite a nice crowd there as well when the girls are running out on the pitch, didn't they? Yeah, yeah.
They
So,
did. They did.
yeah. Mm.
And there's a big game coming up between Toulouse and Grenoble.
I-
They they
That's also, I think, a double header somewhere along the line.
is that Ernest Vellon, which is great to see. And they're giving away tickets. Literally, we were just chatting about it before, and apparently the tickets for the game are free. And there's 12,000 people going to be there already.
Yeah, yeah. So good to fill up the stadium and things like that. So
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, they have a few double headers coming up over the next few weeks towards the end of the season. So that's good to see.
Yes. So we'll
Mm.
be keeping up to date on all of that as we build up to the Women's Six Nations. Where are we now on the agenda? Have we done that? We've done that.
The
Okay.
jersey that we all
The
can't
jersey.
afford.
Oh yeah. Right. Okay. Right. I need to find it in bit of navigation now because the world was rocked, and this went
Oh,
beyond rugby. Okay, this was massive.
yeah.
The world was rocked by. Sorry. I've just while I was searching for it, I've just been completely distracted. Did you see the Luke McGrath announcement video from USAP?
Mm, no, no. I know he's signed, but I haven't actually seen it.
This is the announcement video. Okay.
Oh, he's a baby.
It's a baby. Maz, I'm not going to show
Oh,
you this whole thing because it's 2.5 minutes long, this announcement
it's like
video.
where he lived and stuff. Oh
Yep.
man.
So we're
Ah,
still, so for people listening at home, we're still in the baby phase of the video. Now we've just arrived in Ireland. We are 30 seconds into the announcement video, and he's still a child. And then it goes, I think it's him telling the story of
been
him
at a
going to see
node.
Leinster versus Perpignan in the Champions Cup or something.
Yeah, and that's the old Lansdowne Road Stadium, if
Hmm.
I'm not mistaken, especially with the way that the train looks there. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, so I was distracted by that. Sorry. So I'm going to need to go back to finding this because, like I said, this went beyond rugby. The world of sport was rocked by a jersey that was released. And I was out having dinner with Mrs. HG Rugby, having lunch with Mrs. HG Rugby when this drops. And she was like, could you put your phone down and talk to me, please? And I was like, you don't understand what's just happened. So for Le Crunch, actually, do you want to explain it? You know the backstory of this.
More or less, yes. It's inspired by the jersey of 1906, which was the first French international, apparently, and it's 120 years of Le Crunch, which is that's what they call the game against England always. It's always known as Le Crunch. Um, Adidas has come on board with France Rugby. And it is absolutely exceptional, isn't it? I mean, apparently that's the colours that they wore back then, and this is what happens.
It's
I was a bit
it's
thrown about all of this though, because in the middle of this, and I kind of looked at him and went, oh, and I'm not going to say his name, Cisse, he's a footballer. And I kind
yeah,
of,
they have Hugo Ekitike in it as well, who's a footballer. He's at the beginning. Um,
ah, but isn't it? What a way to announce a jersey drop.
yeah, I did for the first like good minute of this. It's only Toulouse players in it, so I was
Yes,
like, hang on a second. But then all the
yeah,
UBB players in it. They can tell,
yeah,
however, mistake there because LBB, being French and not knowing the rules of darts, has thrown it at the bullseye rather than at triple 20 or double top. So, there's
yeah.
those bloody French don't know the rules of darts. But it's just fantastic. And I
Yeah,
don't think I'm going to
isn't
have
it?
time to Google the whole thing, but it's absolutely incredible. And it's priced accordingly. The cheapest thing in the range is €90.
Okay.
There's a
Have
there's a
you
cardigan
seen
which is 180.
have you seen the special one though?
I thought this was the special one.
Oh no, there's a more specials than that one. There is a jersey. Everything, by the way, if you go on the site, everything is rupture unstuck, out of stock.
Oh
Everything.
my goodness.
Except for this one thing. And it is a jersey signed by this year's team at €990. It's in stock, apparently. Oh God, no, Mrs. H, she is going to go and she
No, even I wouldn't get into that. It's not
yeah.
advertised on the main website.
Really?
Hang on, where is it? I've got to find it.
It's
Oh
on the,
yes.
yeah, well, I saw it today because I just did a quick look and because everybody said, oh, it's not in stock,
There we
it's not
go.
in
Right, I found
stock.
it.
And then it's all signed €990. Yeah.
The kids
There.
one is €75.
When you squeeze into that, it might be cozy, but you might squeeze into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
It
you go right, it's at the very bottom when you go
I
into the
can't
page.
find it. It must be the UK website or something. It doesn't work. But even the sizes,
Ah,
oh, it has sold out quickly. That is a shame because I
yeah.
really, really wanted one. There
I
was a
will.
jacket with it as well that I really
Yeah.
wanted.
Yeah, yeah. I'll send you a screenshot of it. Maybe it's only a French thing, I don't know, but you can get it for €990, signed by the players.
Wow.
Mm.
They've absolutely nailed it. Like
Oh, they do.
Adidas as well. It's not just the jersey itself, but Adidas obviously are a big company with money to throw at the situation. And the
Yeah,
promotions and stuff for it is just, what do you think they're playing? Are they playing gin? Do you think? Must be.
a lot. It's kind of a French poker thing.
Oh, no milk in the tea as well. All these mistakes.
Yeah, but they're French.
Yeah, but
They would never have
the whole
milk in their
point is that
tea.
they're supposed to be pretending to be English.
Yeah, I know. I'm surprised they even have tea beside them.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a link to the shop now. I can't find it.
Yeah, yeah, it's there and it's at the very end because I was scrolling and scrolling and I went, oh God, and then, oh, yeah, in stock. There you go. Lovely.
Anyway, for the rich people. I'll just have to
Yes.
wait for it. It's not. I don't think that one's going to come up in the sale. Although I will say, as it is tempting fate, as Cast learns, because if you celebrate a big milestone, you tend to lose. And if they're wearing that fancy special jersey and they blow a grand slam against England in Paris,
Oh,
you don't, you don't want that to happen.
no, no, you don't want that to happen at all.
Anyway, let's get to talking about France then. So, hello to all the people who skipped to this part of the podcast. France versus Scotland or Scotland versus France. Now, if you go off form, Maz, this is France's hardest game of the Six Nations so far. And it,
Yeah,
it should be a good game. Everyone's excited looking forward to it. I mean, firstly, are people in France confident, worried?
it's, I liked this thing. They're calling it the finale inattendu, which is the unexpected final.
Ah,
And because, no, we're 26, in 24, in 22, did Scotland beat them at home? Oh no, 20.
it was the
It's
COVID
always been
season.
close.
It was 21 because Wales needed that results because it was delayed a week, and Wales needed the result to win the title. They needed Scotland, or they needed France not to beat Scotland by a certain amount, but Scotland ended up beating France. Stuart Hogg, I
beating
think,
France.
scored with the last play.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There was that. And then even the last time it was last, or 2 years ago in 24, it was Scotland 16, France 20. So it's tight. They're also saying that it's the use of words like the atmosphere is there more solemn than hostile. And, they know that the Scottish get up behind their team and that kind of thing, but it's not hostile towards, well, apart from England, probably, but other teams. And they're calling it this final, unexpected final to get the Grand Slam and win yeah. You're gone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry. I don't know why I was
Sorry.
on mute, but I'm back now. The I don't know for why, but I can't remember what I was about to say. I don't know why I was muted. So if they score 4 tries and win, the title's theirs. It's done.
Mm.
It's finished.
Yeah,
C'est
yeah,
fini.
yeah.
So that's what you got to do. Now, it's only been 3 games. I've been doing a lot of stats for France this week, and it's very easy to get giddy because it's only been 3 games and they've played Wales and Italy,
Mm.
who are the 2 weakest teams. So you're kind of going, how excited can we get? But it's not just me. Lots of other stats people have been doing it as well. Other stats people, like I'm one of them. No, the professional stats people have also been doing it. Ross Hamilton, who's been on TV and stuff talking rugby stats, he says, tries scored from own half, France 8, everybody else put together 5. Tries from kick return, France 8, everybody else put together 3. Tries on first phase, France 9, everybody else put together 10, 5 of which are Scotland's. Russ Petty was at it as well. He was saying about the discipline for France. Their average penalties has gone down from 10 or 11 to 6 this season. And that is kind of the thing. If you look at not only France's gap to everybody else, but also the gap to themselves last year, like
Mm.
it's a big,
Yeah.
yeah. So the gap between them and the rest is quite significant.
Mm. Yeah.
And the it's like I said, it's easy to get carried away with that kind of stuff because it has only been 3 games and you have to take into account who they've played against. But you also look at how Scotland played in their last game, and that obviously that famous phrase about France being, you don't know which French team is going to turn up. You don't know what Scotland team is going to turn up. Scotland could easily just completely no show in this game, or they could give
Yeah.
them a good game. But if we're going off the data, all the data suggests that France are going to win this quite easily.
Yeah. But I don't think it's going to be a walkover. Then again, I'm not great with predictions sometimes.
No, our predictions are famously terrible.
Famously bad.
Unless it's Toulouse versus Montauban, we can't be trusted to get anything right. But
um, but you would expect France to win, but not hugely
I'm
if
just trying to
Scotland play
think.
well.
I'm trying to think what does Scotland have that France don't? And I can't think of anything. I can't think of because even the
Just the home
Scotland's
support, that's it.
yeah, it's home
Yeah.
advantage. That's really the only thing that Scotland have
Yeah.
that France don't. And
Mm.
like the selection, that I've seen that Jalibert is back in training, Moefana is back in training, and Depoter is
Yeah.
back in training.
Yeah. And Moefana played about 20 minutes against Poe.
Yeah, I
So
was surprised.
yeah.
I thought he was out. But
Yeah, I was a bit surprised by that too, but I saw that he played a few minutes, which, is good. Deporter is back, so will they go with that kind of centre pairing again as opposed to the Poe one? Who knows? It all depends on fitness. Yeah, Jalibert is back training. Flamont is back training. I think he have a knock on the knee or something like that? He's back training as well. So yeah.
yeah. So, but what do you do? Obviously, you bring if Jalibert's available, you bring him back in. But do you bring the UBB centres back in, or do you stick with the Poe ones who've been playing well?
I think they might want to go out strong. I think they probably might bring back in Moefana Deporter. That's what I've seen a bit on the socials, but Who
Yeah.
knows?
Ah,
Yeah.
I suppose this is why international head coaches get paid the big money to make these
Yes.
big decisions.
Exactly.
But like I said, they've been going well. So what do you do? But
Yeah. It's a
at
good,
least
it's a good problem to have.
I was
So
about to
at the
say, at
end,
least it's not a case of, oh my goodness, who's going to play centre? It's a case of, right, which incredibly good centre pairing do we want to
yeah,
select?
their
I do,
bigger problem is 15. If Ramos gets injured, that's their bigger problem.
yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
yeah.
Well, it'd be Atasogbe, wouldn't he? But he didn't go great against Italy. He
Or
went fine. He went all
Ross,
right. But
who isn't great, or Barry, who isn't great, you know. So yeah. Oh, that's the bigger
God.
problem. Yeah. And we
Yeah.
don't want that to happen either. So
Other than that, it's just a question of where they go in the second row. Do they bring the flamboyant boys back in, or do they go for the big boys? You can't have Thibaut Flamand and not pick him. Like
I
he's
I absolutely adore him. He is so good and so underestimated. Yeah. Yeah.
mm,
If he's fully fit, he has to start. Yeah.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
And like I said, I just don't see like if Scotland is going to win this, Finn Russell is going to have an incredible game.
Yeah.
That I don't know whether they'd pick Kinghorn, who I don't think has been playing great. Siri Tuipulotu and Hugh Jones are both going to have incredible
Yeah.
games. At least
Yeah.
they've got experience on their side over the French centres. Even if they go Moafana and Deportes, it's not like those have got heaps and heaps of caps compared to those two.
Mm,
I think Scotland are the most experienced team in the Six Nations. Which unfortunately,
probably.
most of it isn't experience of winning. Sorry, it's just true.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, so now colours to the mast. How do you see this one going?
Ooh, France by 7?
Ooh, okay, that's a bit tighter than I thought you might say. I think it'll.
Mm,
I think it'll be close for most of the game, but I think France will score a late try to make it look more emphatic than it was. And I can't see. I'd be very surprised if they don't get 4 tries, especially because they have to get
mm,
the title.
mm.
I can see them maybe only getting 3 tries and still winning. Ugh. I don't know because I've just done the whole spiel about how I can't see Scotland winning, but now it's come time for me to predict. I'm hesitant. So yeah, come on. So what's the data telling me? The data is telling me that France will win this 32-25, which is 7 points, which is
What's
what you
your
said.
heart telling you? What's your heart telling you? Forget the date.
It is much more advantageous for my YouTube channel if France win. I'll tell you that much. Uh, so that's all I'll say. Anyway, before my internet finally packs up and let's go, let's bring the show to the end. So, if you have enjoyed what you're seeing, especially if you've been listening on audio, please consider sharing links to friends, give a 5-star rating, get involved in the comments, let us know your predictions for France
Mm.
versus Scotland versus France. And that leaves me to say, merci beaucoup, Madame Maz.
Avec plaisir, you.
Merci beaucoup to everybody for listening. Enjoy your rugby, and I hope that everybody's team wins. Bye bye.
Bye.